Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, May 6, 2022. Big show today. Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, golf, NASCAR, Idol, news and notes, and best bet. Let's get it started with the Stanley Cup playoffs. 4 games last night. We'll recap them all, and then we'll look ahead to tonight and the weekend's playoff games. So, the Rangers bounced back from that brutal triple overtime defeat and beat the Penguins by a score of 5-2 to even up the series at 1 apiece. Number 3 started game with the goal and 2 assists. Frank Toronto. Number 2 started game with 39 saves on 41 shots. Igor Shesterkin. And the number 1 started game with a goal and 2 assists. Artemi Panarin. Panthers over the Capitals 5-1 to even that series at 1 apiece. Number 3 started game with 26 saves on 27 shots. Sergei Bobrovsky. Number 2 started game with the goal, Aaron Ekblad. Number 1 started game with the goal and assist, Alexander Barkov. Avalanche over the Predators 2-1 in overtime on a game winner by Cale Makar. It's like a 2-0 series lead. Number 3 started game with the overtime winner, with the goal in the game, Nathan McKinnon. Number 2 started game with 49 saves on 51 shots, Connor Ingram. And the number 1 started game with the overtime winner, Cale Makar. And the Stars over the Flames 2-0 to even that series at 1 apiece. Number 3 started game with 21 saves on 21 saves on 22 shots. Jacob Markstrom. Just wanted to make sure I was an empty net goal. Number 2 started game with the goal, Joe Pavelski. And number 1 started game with 29 saves on 29 shots, Jake Ottinger. Now we look ahead to tonight's game, 7 o'clock on TNT with the Hurricanes and the Bruins from TD Garden. And the Bruins are actually favored, minus 125. Canes are plus 104, over under 5.5. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Canes plus 1.5 is minus 65. Boston minus 1.5 is plus 245. I'm going to go with the under. Low-scoring game. I think Boston pulls it out. 7:30 TBS, Maple Leafs Lightning. Lightning minus 122. Maple Leafs plus 102, over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 50. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 102. I'm going to go with the Lightning first period puck line. Minus 1.5 at plus 166. 9:30 TNT Wild Blues. Blues minus 120. Wild even money, over under 6.5. Overs plus 102. Unders minus 128. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 260. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 210. I'm gonna go with first period result tie plus 198. And last but not least, 10 o'clock on CBS, the Oilers and the Kings. Edmonton minus 150, Kings plus 125, over under 6.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 176. Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 215. I really like the Kings first period result plus 205. Saturday, 1 o'clock ESPN, Panthers Capitals. Panthers minus 196, Capitals plus 162, over under 6.5. Overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 136, Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 164. Both games have gone under 6.5 so far. I like the under. 4:30 TNT Avalanche Predators. Avs minus 230, Preds plus 188, over under 6.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 114. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 137. I'm going to go with the Nashville Predators at home at plus 188 to win. 7 o'clock TNT, the Rangers and the Penguins. Rangers minus 115, Penguins minus 104, over under 6. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 205. Penguins plus 1.5 is minus 255. The uncertainty in net for Pittsburgh is why the Rangers are minus 115, slightly road favorite. I like under first period total goals at plus 104. Under 1.5 plus 104 to first total goals. At 9:30 on TNT, you have the Flames and the Stars. Flames minus 170, Stars plus 138, over under 5.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 168. Dallas plus 1.5 is minus 205. I like this game to go to overtime at 3-1. Tie 3-1 in regulation. So I like that a lot. Sunday, 12:30, ESPN, you have the Hurricanes and the Bruins. Game 4. 4:30 TBS, Wild Blues, Game 4. 7 o'clock TBS, Maple Leafs Lightning, Game 4. And 10 o'clock TBS, you have the Oilers and the Kings, Game 4. All right, NBA playoffs. We did not have games last night, so we'll look ahead to what should be a really fun weekend. 7 o'clock ESPN tonight, you have the Heat and the 76ers. Right now, no Joel Embiid, but that can change. Heat can have some other guys out. A lot of guys are questionable. Kyle Lowry, Tyler Herro, PJ Tucker, Gabe Vincent. So, and Max Struss too, so that's 5 questionable. If they all play, Miami's in good shape as long as Joel plays for Philly, or Joel doesn't play. My projection is with Joel, Philly by 3/4. Without Joel, 5 3/4 for Miami. My total is 215 and 17/20. FanDuel has it 3.5 and 210. Injuries or not, I like the over. The over's hit in a lot of these games. But I might jump on Miami if Joel doesn't play. But if Joel does play, I'm taking Philly money line and Philly plus 3.5. But for right now, I'm going to go over for the podcast. Maybe I'll do a second bet in the same gamer, depending on the So yeah. 9:30 on ESPN, you have the Suns and the Mavericks. My projection is Phoenix by 4.5, total 217 and 11/20, and it's 1 and 219.5. You would think that Dallas is gonna win tonight, and Luka would be awesome. I really don't like my projection. But if I had to bet, I'd lay the 1 with the Suns, but I just don't think it's going to be a sweep. And I also have a slight edge on the under. So, very hard for me to pick. I don't like my numbers, but I'll go slight under. Saturday, 3:30 ABC, Celtics Bucks. My projection for this game is based on the availability of Marcus Smart. With Marcus, I have Celtics by 3/4, and without Marcus, I have Bucks by 2 3/4. Total, I have 220 and 3/4. And it's Milwaukee 2.5, total 213. I like the over. No Marcus could weaken Boston's day. Select the over. In an 8:30 ABC, Grizzlies Warriors. My projection is Golden State by 1 3/4, total 221 and a fifth, and it's 7 and 225.5. I like Memphis getting the points. I don't think Memphis will win. I just think this will be a close game. I think the Warriors get too much favoritism in the betting market because of the big names on the roster and their past experience. All right, Sunday, 3:30 ESPN. You have the Suns and the Mavericks. I'm surprised this game's not on ABC. Or maybe it is on ABC. But they just have it down on the wrong site here. It really should be on ABC. And it's not. It's Formula One racing. So, this game really is on ESPN. That sucks low-key for them. I picked Suns in 6. I have a feeling that either Dallas wins both games or Phoenix comes away with 1. And then maybe Dallas wins Game 5 on the road and then Phoenix closes out in 6 or something like that. And 8 o'clock in T, you have the Heat and the 76ers. So, no, by the way, my line for Suns-Mavs, if the Suns win, it's 5, and if the Mavs win, it's 4. Heat 76ers. This is complicated. If the Heat win on Friday night, no Joel is plus, or Miami by 6.25. With Joel, it's Philly by 1/4. If Philly wins tonight, no Embiid on Sunday is plus 5.25. So Miami favored by 5.25. And if Joel's there and Philly wins tonight, my projection will be Philly by 1.25. So complicated projections that I had to share before moving on. All right, Major League Baseball. We'll recap the games from yesterday, look ahead to tonight. I have a feeling that we're going to have some rainouts this weekend, especially here on the East Coast. Angels over the Red Sox 8-0. Brewers over the Reds 10-5. Rockies over the Nats 9-7. Guardians over the Blue Jays 6-5. Mets over the Phillies 8-7. Orioles over the Twins 5-3. Astros over the Tigers 3-2. Padres over the Marlins 2-1. Rays over the Mariners 4-3. And the Cardinals over the Giants 7-1. Now I look ahead to today's games. 2:20 of the Dodgers and the Cubs. We have Tyler Anderson, and we don't know who's going for Chicago. We don't have odds on FanDuel. DraftKings might have it. We'll see. And they don't. But the Dodgers should be big favorites on the road. 6:30, the Pirates and the Reds. JT Brubaker and Connor Overton. The Pirates are minus 130. The Reds are plus 110. Over under 8.5. Over is minus 112. Under is minus 108. Pirates minus 1.5 is plus 125. Reds plus 1.5. Plus 1.5 is minus 150. The Reds have just been garbage beyond. They're horrible. They lost 9 straight. They're 3-22 on the year. But FBI has them as a favorite. So guess what? I'm going to hold my nose and take the Reds. I hate the pick. I got to do it. I just got to do it. 7 o'clock, you have the Royals and the Orioles. This is a rainout candidate. Carlos Hernandez and Jordan Lyles. Baltimore's a minus 134 favorite. Casey's plus 114 over under 8, minus 110 each way. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 215. Orioles minus 1.5 is plus 176. I like the over a lot. Another game that I think is going to get rained out, Mets-Phillies. Max Scherzer, Kyle Gibson. If any team could use a rainout, it's Philadelphia. Mets minus 146. Phillies plus 124. Over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 115. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 138. I'm going to go with first half result, New York Mets minus 105. Another game that will probably get rained out, Rangers-Yankees, Glenn Otto and Garrett Cole. Yankees minus 245, Rangers 2-1, over under 7, minus 110 each way. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 110, Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 110. I'll go Yankees run line for a bounce back win if they're able to play tonight. On Apple TV, you have the White Sox and the Red Sox from Fenway. Vince Velasquez and Nathan Eovaldi. Red Sox minus 184, White Sox plus 154 over under 8.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. White Sox plus 1/2 is minus 137. Red Sox minus 1/2 is plus 114. I'm going to go with over 4.5 first half at minus 105. Blue Jays Guardians. Kevin Gausman and Shane Bieber. Blue Jays minus 148. Guardians plus 126. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Blue Jays minus 1/2 is plus 120. Guardians plus 1/2 is minus 144. I'm going to go with the Guardians at plus 126 to 1. They are an FBI favorite at 57%, and they're an underdog in the game. So 2 Chris Felica specials so far. 7:20 of the Brewers and the Braves. Eric Lauer, we don't know, is going for Atlanta. Game's not posted on either site, but I might bet Milwaukee based on FBI. 8 o'clock, you have the Tigers and the Astros. Bayo Brisky and Luis Garcia. Astros minus 205. Tigers plus 172. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 125. Astros minus 1/2 is plus 104. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. 9:30, Nats Angels. Jonah Don, and we don't know who's going for LA. The game is not posted on either of the betting sites, but the over would probably be a good play. Rockies D-backs. Chad Cole and Merrill Kelly. D-backs minus 142. Rockies plus 120. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Rocks plus 1/2 is minus 164. D-backs minus 1/2 is plus 136. D-backs are probably the right side. I'm going to go first half result tie at 5-1, though. I like that because it's a division game. Marlins Padres. Sandy Alcantara and Yu Darvish. Padres minus 134. Marlins plus 114. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Marlins plus 1/2 is minus 196. Padres minus 1/2 is plus 162. I'm going to go with first half total. Actually, no, I don't like it. The under's too juiced. First half result tie plus 390. Apple TV, Rays Mariners. Matt Whistler and Logan Gilbert. Mariners minus 134, Rays plus 114, over under 7, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Rays plus 1/2 is minus 215. Mariners minus 1/2 is plus 176. I'm going to go with first half result Mariners plus 110 for my pick here. And 10:15, you have the Cardinals and the Giants. These two teams played each other earlier in the year, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan Hicks and Alex Cobb. Giants minus 132, Cardinals plus 112, over under 7, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Cardinals plus 1/2 is minus 200. Giants minus 1/2 is plus 164. I'm going over 7, minus 115. Saturday, 12:30, doubleheader game 1, Pirates-Reds. Mitch Keller and Nick Lodolo. If they play, 1 o'clock, Rangers-Yankees, Dane Dunning and Luis Severino. 2 o'clock, Athletics Twins, James Kaprielian and Chris Paddock. 2:20, Dodgers-Cubs, Clayton Kershaw and Justin Steele. 4 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Tigers-Astros. Eduardo Rodriguez and Framber Valdez. Mets-Phillies, Chris Bassett and Zach Eflin. White Sox-Red Sox, Dallas Keuchel and Nick Pivetta. 6 o'clock, Blue Jays Guardians, Ross Stripling and Tristan McKenzie. 6:30, doubleheader game 2, Pirates-Reds. We don't know who's pitching in that game. 7 o'clock, you have the Royals and the Orioles, Daniel Lynch and Tyler Wells. Fox Sports 1 at 7:15, Cardinals Giants, Steven Matz and Logan Webb. 7:20, Brewers Braves, Corbin Burns and Max Fried. 8 o'clock, Rockies Diamondbacks, Kyle Freeland and Zach Davies. Marlins Padres at 8:30, Pablo Lopez and Sean Manaea. 9 o'clock, Nats Angels, Josiah Gray and Michael Lorenzen. And the Rays and the Mariners, Drew Rasmussen and Marco Gonzalez. Sunday, 11:30 on NBC. Yes, you heard that right. NBC has a baseball package this year. And of course, they get a big market team right out of the way against another big market team when the Red Sox host the White Sox. You think Bob Costa's doing the game for NBC or Mike Tirico? I'm interested to see who does play-by-play for this game. Kenny Albert? Probably not Kenny Albert because he is doing the hockey playoffs right now. I mean, the case for Kenny Albert is that he does the game in Boston for... Or no, that wouldn't make sense. He's probably in Boston tonight. Maybe in Pittsburgh. He has the Bruins game. Or that's an ESPN game, actually. That's not TNT. So maybe if he doesn't get one of those games on TBS, then he might get this game. Dylan Cease and Michael Wacha. 1:30, Royals Orioles, Zach Greinke and Bruce Zimmerman. Brewers Braves, Aaron Ashby and Charlie Morton. Mets Phillies, Carlos Carrasco and Rangers Suarez. Rangers Yankees, John Gray and Jordan Montgomery. Pirates Reds, Zach Thompson and Tyler Mahle. Blue Jays Guardians, Alek Manoah, and we don't know who's going for Cleveland. 2 o'clock, Tigers Astros. We don't know who's going for Detroit, and Jake Odorizzi's going for Houston. A's Twins, Dalton Jeffries and Joe Ryan. 4 o'clock, Cardinals Giants, Dakota Hudson, and we know who's going for San Fran. Nats Angels, Eric Feed and Patrick Sandoval. Rockies Diamondbacks, Herman Marquez and Zach Gallen. Marlins Padres, Trevor Rogers and Joe Musgrove. Rays Mariners, Ryan Yarbrough and Chris Flexen. And Sunday Night Baseball, 7 o'clock on ESPN, a game that should not be on Sunday Night Baseball. The Dodgers against the 9-15 Cubs, Walker Buehler, Marcus Stroman. Just favoritism for a bad team in the Cubs. I mean, come on. The Cubs and the Red Sox are going to be the two teams that end up on Sunday Night Baseball a lot that suck. Oh, and the Phillies, too. 3 bad teams are going to end up on Sunday Night Baseball a lot throughout the year, so be prepared for that. Alrighty, Major League Soccer, we're going to go over the slate for the weekend. We had a game on Wednesday, and we actually talked about the standings a little bit on the Thursday show. So Saturday, 3:30, you have Charlotte hosting Miami. 4 o'clock, Club Football Montreal hosting Orlando. 6 o'clock, Atlanta hosting Chicago. 7 o'clock, NYCFC hosting Kansas City. The game will be played at Citi Field. Red Bulls hosting Portland. 7:30, DC United hosting Houston. New England hosting Columbus. 8 o'clock, Minnesota hosting Cincinnati. 8:30, Dallas hosting Seattle. 10 o'clock, San Jose hosting Colorado. And 11 o'clock, you have LAFC hosting Philadelphia. Sunday, Mother's Day, 4 o'clock, Vancouver hosting Toronto. Nashville hosting Salt Lake. And 7 o'clock, Austin hosting LA Galaxy. By the way, 5 o'clock is the Nashville Salt Lake game. All right, now we're going to look at the current leaderboard from the Wells Fargo Championship. It's been an interesting start to this tournament thus far. So far, tied at the top with 7 under, Joel Dahman and Jason Day. Tied for third with 5 under. Matt Wolf, Aaron Ray, Dylan McCarthy, Ricky Fowler, Colin Taryn, Max Homa, Siwoo Kim, Mackenzie Hughes, and Paul Barjan. Tied for 12th with 4 under, Kang-Hoo Lee, Adam Svensson, Nate Watney, Sergio Garcia, Stuart Sink, James Hahn, Chad Ramey, Dylan Wu. Tied for 20th with 3 under. Rory McIlroy, Nate Taylor, Sam Piercy, Joaquin Herman, Troy Parrott, Adam Schenk. Or not Troy Parrott, Tuck Pettit. Rory Sabatini, Luke List, Matt Kuchar, Henry Higgs, William Byron, Matthew Neesmith, Stefan Yeager, and Kurt Katayama. Tied for 34th with 2 under. Brendan Steele, Chung Sun Pong, Mark Leishman, Nirban Lahiri, JT Potson, Matt Fitzpatrick, Danny Lee, Justin Lauer, Keith Mitchell, Scott Gutschewski, Cam Davis, William McGirt, Matt Wallace, Russell Knox, Ben Martin, Cam Young, Peter Yolen, Jim Nanis, Chase Seifert, Drew Nesbitt, Austin Smotherman, and Ben Coles. Now I'm just going through notables. Tied for 56 with 1 under. Brandon Hagee, Brian Harmon, Cesar V, Camilo Vegas, Tony Finau, Webb Simpson, Abraham Ancer, Francesco Molinari, Corey Connors, Taylor Moore, Hank Labodia, Adam Cook, Nate Lashley, Cam Piercy, John DeVegas, Ryan Henley, and David Lipsky. Tied for 76 at even. Kramer Hickok, Seb Straka, Henrik Norlander, Martin Laird, Tyrell Hatton, Seamus Power, Lucas Griffin, Keegan Bradley, Charles Schwartzel, Zach Johnson, Joseph Brumlett, Peter Malnati, Michael Thompson, Vincent Taylor, Mariano Gillick, and Brandon Wu. Tied for 96 with 1 over. Troy Merritt, Doug Gibb, Dylan Fratelli, John Ha, Lucas Donald, Bryce Garnett, Mark Hubbard, Taylor Gainey, Adam Putnam, Andrew Novak, Grayson Sigg, Matthias Schwab, Gary Woodland, Adam Long, Patrick Reed, Richie Wierenski, and Bo Hogg. Tied for 117th with 2 over. Ryan O'Moore, Brian Stored, Jason Hadley, Vincent Whaley, Roger Sloan, Charlie Hoffman, and Jason Duffner. Tied for 129th with 3 over. Matt Jones, Bo Van Pelt, Sodi Kodiara, Kevin Strillman, Tyler Duncan. Tied for 137th with 4 over. Lucas Glover, Brandon Grace, and Alex Smalley. Tied for 144th with 5 over. Lucas Hodges, Doc Redman. Tied for 147th with 6 over. You had Morgan Hoffman in there. And among those that withdrew, Martin Trainer and Curtis Thompson. Alrighty. Now move on to NASCAR. This weekend, they'll be racing from Darlington. Trucks will be today at 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. I'm going to pull up the odds on DraftKings right now. Bet on Tools 200. I'm going to pick Chandler Smith at 10-1. It's just staring at me. Xfinity will be tomorrow during the day, 1:30 from Darlington. And for Xfinity, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go John Hunter Nemechek 12-1 to win the Mahindra Roxor 200. And the Cup Series, 3:30 on Sunday from Darlington on Fox Sports 1. The Goodyear 400. My pick to win this race, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney, 12-1, to win the Goodyear 400 from Darlington. All right, now we'll move on to American Idol. We will have the top 7 perform on Sunday night for Mother's Day. They'll dedicate songs to their mothers or mother figures in their lives. And then will.i.am returns to mentors. So, Mother's Day episode, top 7. I wonder if we're at the stage of the show where we're going to have 2 songs by each contestant. So that would be really interesting to see, and I think they're going to vote off 2 on Sunday's episode. And it's so hard now because the competition is so good, and good contestants are going to have to get voted off. At gunpoint, pre-performances, I am going to say that the 2 people that I think are in danger right now are Noah and Leah. I think are in danger, and potentially Fritz. I think Jay and Hunter are the front runners to win the show. I think they're that good. I really think that Hunter might be the favorite. But what sucks is that Kennedy, I thought, would have won the competition had she stayed in. I thought Kennedy was outstanding, and it's unfortunate that she dropped out. So, we'll see. And I'm going to rank the performances again and say who I felt deserved to be safe and whatnot on the podcast on Monday. All right, news and notes. Really quick. So, Carlos Correa injures his finger and will get a CT scan tomorrow, which is today. So, hopefully Correa will be okay. That'd be a brutal loss for the Twins, if that were to be the case. There was a controversy in the Avalanche Predators game where the refs immediately called off the Avalanche's go-ahead goal for goalie interference. And I believe that that was the right call in this game, at least. Not in the Ranger game in Game 1. Speaking of the Ranger game, you see in the stands, Yankees, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, and DJ LeMahieu chug beer at the Ranger playoff game, which was awesome. And there's another goaltender interference call in the Ranger game last night. As Igor Shesterkin collided with Jeff Carter and went down hard. And it sucks because Bleacher Report puts goaltender interference in quotes. And that was a nasty hit. And I thought that was the right call. Especially with that debacle the other night. A friend of Xander Bogaerts says he's going to leave in free agency after contract negotiations failed. It makes sense for him to leave. They went out and signed Trevor Story. And he's a shortstop. It might not be the right call by Boston to pick him over Bogaerts. But we'll see. C.J. Gardner-Johnson took a shade at Ryan Tannehill because of Tannehill's awful press conference he gave about how he is not there to mentor Malik Willis. And he goes out and says he wants Malik Willis to win the starting job in Tennessee. I think he has no shot to win the starting job, at least this year. I think Tennessee's going to try to trade Ryan Tannehill after the season. So we'll see. Deebo Samuel refollows the team. Is that a sign that he wants to stay with the 49ers? Maybe. Atlanta to replace Las Vegas for the 2025 National Championship game. I don't know why. That's ridiculous. Emory Jones transfers and will play at Arizona State next season. That is a good get for Herm Edwards and company. Texas running back Bijan Robinson signs NIL partnership with a Lamborghini dealership in Austin. And Joel Embiid listed as out, but still in the process of being cleared to return against the Heat. Dylan Brooks suspended for Game 3. We forgot to factor that in the lines for that game. So let's see about that. No wonder it's so high. I forgot all about that. It doesn't say the price for Dylan Brooks. So let's see here. I'm going to Google it on the spot on the podcast. So he would be 2 points. A 2-point absence. So I forgot all about that. The suspension. So it'd be Warriors 3 3/4. But for me, I'd still take Memphis. I can't believe I just remembered that. But it doesn't change my pick for that game from an ATS standpoint. Ryan Howard joins the Jordan Brand multi-year deal, so that's pretty cool. I think the WNBA season starts tonight. I just gotta double check that. So Amanda Zahui suspended and has been placed on the full season suspended list. That's a brutal loss for the Sparks. And then Chine says, in no circumstance should we have a league where top draft picks aren't on a roster. I agree with her. And Mbappe agrees to stay in Paris after agreeing in principle to a 2-year extension. So that's some interesting soccer news. And then Georgia and Texas are getting a little more chatter for Arch Manning. So the Arch Manning watch is on. And some non-sports news. The White House names their next press secretary. And it was chosen to be Karine Jean-Pierre, the first black person in the position. So that is really interesting. Good for her. And something really interesting. The Gabby Petito story will be a Lifetime movie. And it'll start filming this summer. So that, I think, is really, really interesting. That's turning into like a thing. Alrighty. The WNBA starts tonight. I didn't realize it. So I'm just going to look at the slate for the weekend. 7 o'clock on Facebook, you have the Fever and the Mystics, Commissioner Cup game. 8 o'clock NBA TV, Spark Sky. 10 o'clock NBA TV, Commissioner Cup game, Aces Mercury. And 10 o'clock on Twitter, Commissioner's Cup game, the Lynx and the Storm. Saturday, Commissioner's Cup game, 6 o'clock, ESPN, the Sun and the Liberty. So, that's a big game. You think Ryan Rucco is going to get that game early on. And 8 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, you have the Dream and the Wings. And then Sunday, 3 o'clock on Prime Video, the Sparks and the Fever. 8 o'clock on ESPN2, the Mystics and the Link. And then 10 o'clock ESPN2, Commissioner's Cup game between the Storm and the Aces. So it should be a fun weekend, a fun WNBA season. And if I had to pick the championship team at gunpoint right now, I'll say the Aces. They're plus 360. That's a loaded team. I'm going to go with the Aces over the Connecticut Sun in the WNBA Finals as my preseason call. And then League MVP, I'm going to go with Breanna Stewart at 5-1. So, it should be fun. And obviously, I want to try to get Jeff Maglicetti on to talk some WNBA, maybe next week if we have some time. Alrighty, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. For best bet tonight, I am going to go in probably baseball. I'm going to check hockey if there's anything that I want to potentially pick. It's playoffs, so it's hard. And then the question is, do I have the balls to pick the Reds as best bet? I want to stay away from potential rainouts. So this is a tough one. But I don't know why the Guardians are a home underdog with Shane Bieber. FBI favors the Guardians. So that would be a good call. So I'll just go with the Guardians. I don't have the balls to go to Cincinnati. So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Guardians straight up, plus 120 against the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, so there you have it for the show. We'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend, from all the sports, Idol. And then I have news and notes and best bet for you. Maybe I have a couple guests for you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.